everyone, it's Rambling Hour with Lisa, season 15, episode 9, coming to you live from my mom's backyard or garden, whichever you want to call it. And it has been a while since we've been in touch. First, I want to apologize for the last live that I did from the water park. I'm happy that I did it, but I'm sorry that the sound was horrible, and but I still enjoyed doing it from the water park. I wish I could have done one from camping. However, we didn't have internet service out there, which is great because, you know, getting back to nature and life without internet. However, the downsides of that is that I couldn't do my live. I would have loved to do it from the lake, like from the beach, but couldn't. So that's why I'm wearing this outfit. I didn't realize until I wore this outfit one day when we ran into town for some groceries that it almost looks like a camp counselor like setup, like bring on the sunshine, and then like a 70s like camp counselor look or whatever. So, and my mama bear hat, because Steve, we call Steve Papa Bear. We've always called him that. So when I saw this hat, this is actually one of the, and it has the thing in the back for ponytails, where you can put your ponytail at different like things, whatever. I don't know if you can see that. But when I ordered it online, it came and it looks exactly like it did on the advertising. I got it a few years ago. I can't remember where or what company, but yeah, I was happy with it from the moment it arrived. It looks like my shirt is kind of shrinking with the growing seasons. No, the growing belly. But when we get back, I'll watch what I'm eating. Right now, I'm enjoying the holiday and eating what I want. However, we do have the mud run coming up on the 17th, so I realized camping how, well, actually, when we went to the water park and I had to go up the stairs for the water slides, being exhausted doing that, and then also out at the lake and doing anything, swimming, like literal swimming, and hiking, whatever we did, I realized how out of shape I actually am. So then slowly doing things the almost 2 weeks we were camping and building up a little bit of muscles and stamina and stuff, so that the mud run will hopefully be a bit easier. But should probably still take this week to do some, like even some, what's it called again when you walk really fast? Not power, is it power walking? My brain is, so let me tell you about my brain. We've done lots of fun things in the week of camping, but if I seem a little bit like out of sorts while I'm trying to talk to you, or I lose my train of thought even more than usual and stuff, I technically probably have a brain injury, which people can make fun of me now, even though they would have in the past, that there was something wrong with my brain. But one of the things we did this week was tubing behind my brother's boat, which was awesome fun. But I am 45 and I know I should have taken it easy, but the thing is, I don't know when I'm going to be able to, hi mommy, mom's in the house while I'm outside in her backyard. Yeah, I should have taken it easy, but I didn't, because I don't know when I'm going to be able to go tubing again. And also, not only when am I going to get to go tubing again, with my mom has so, like problems with her back. My older sister was having problems with her knee, and there was just like all these reasons that other people couldn't do it. So I thought I better go on it now when I'm you know, healthy enough and not injured, because who knows when I'm going to be able to do it again. And I didn't realize, like, holding on, like, especially when I was doing it on my belly, because it's like a double tube, and then in the middle a third person can go, but they have to lay down and hold on to handles. And I was on for a long time doing that. I didn't realize how strong my arms actually are. So I must, obviously, all my gardening and doing stuff in the garden has paid off, because I had the strong arm strength to hold on for a long time. Even the kids were impressed at how long old mom, auntie, stayed on. But with that one, when I was lying on my stomach and holding on, I went for quite a long time, and then eventually I wiped out, but I rolled. Thanks, Mom. Mom said she went on to my life. I rolled, so I have bruises from that one. You can't really see the bruises yet. The only bruise that's really visible right now is this one, which doesn't look like much, but I don't bruise easy. So even though I know I have bruises, like I can feel them and I know exactly where I hit on the water, they're not visible yet. They might start to get like a little purpley yellow when they're healing, but yeah, they're not really showing up, but I can still feel them. that wipeout was all right. I could tell that I was like hitting the water while I was like flipping, and I could tell that it would hurt and that I would be bruised, but it was part of the game. Then me and my nephew Declan, who's 10, went on, and my brother did warn us that with different weights, it's like not as safe. And the first time we went on, like I tried to lean over as much as I could to the center to try and balance the weight, and we did really well. We went on for a long time. Then later in the day we went on again, and Mom said I went on, and she said to the tub. What are you talking about, to the tub? Oh, the tube. Oh, Mom, yes, Mom went on. My mom went on. She was the what did she say? The Mom, what did you say? Not the coolest grandma on the beach. I can't remember what you said, Mom. Yeah, my mom went on the tube too, which is awesome because my mom's 74 and she'll be 75 in December. But yeah, so Grandma went on it as well. Grandma was holding Felicity, who's 6, and I think it was Ryan, my sister's husband, Felicity's dad, who was on the other side of the tube. So Grandma went on the tube too, but my brother took it a bit, not easy. Well, my brother says he took it easy. My mom says he didn't take it that easy, but my mom really loved it, and I'm glad that she went on. But he had to take it a bit easy because, not because of her age, but like I said, because she's had problems with her back. So, but this last time that me and Declan went on, we were, you know, doing the normal stuff, going over really awesome, like, hard waves and everything. And that was like, even then, you know, like some of the jarring of your neck because you're sitting up and like going over the waves. It was like being a headbanger, like thrashing again. So I knew my neck might be sore, and like even the bumps can be hard on the back. What happened though, and my brother warned us of this exact thing because it happened to him and his daughter, who she's now 16, but this happened a few years ago. So my brother and my niece Shay were on it, and he said because of the distribution of weight being uneven, the heavier person, the tube is going to fly up, and the heavier person is going to go over the lighter person. So he like actually warned us of this exact situation. It happened to him and Shay a few years ago, and then it ended up happening. And all I remember, like we were having fun, and then we hit something. I remember like, oh no, this is the time that we crash. And then the next thing I remember is hitting the water face first, feeling like my face was flat. And so I'll explain how I believe it happened and then what my experience was of it. So our spotters, because you have spotters in the boat who watch to do the signals, like stop, this we did as faster, and this we did as slower, and then thumbs up just meant everything's good. So you have a spotter who watches it, and anyone else who wants to watch, who, you know, the people going on the tube to see if they're having fun or whatever. And what like Aurora and Brock and I think Erica, who they're all the ones who saw. My brother didn't see because he's driving the boat, watching where he's going. And so it flipped over like my brother said it would. So Declan went, because we're both sitting up holding on to hand grips, and so it flipped over. So Declan hit his stomach as well. He went down like that, and I went up. Brock says, and Aurora and Erica have confirmed that it's at least 7 feet in the air. And I think what happened, the way that I hit the water, I think I stayed in the exact same position that I was holding on to the tube with my arms out, holding on to the handles. And basically, so I guess 7 feet. I don't remember that. All I remember is hitting the water. And as you guys might know, if you don't, water is like concrete. When you hit it, when you don't break the water, that's why when you dive, you make a poke with your fingers or your toes, because it breaks the surface tension and then it spreads. But if you don't do that, if you do a belly flop or that, it just smacks like concrete, right? So I went down, and all like this part of me, my chest, but I had a life jacket on, my chest and my face all just smacked the water. My face felt flat. So this is my experience now. My face felt flat. I remember feeling it in here. And then I was down in the water like this. Like you might see somebody like who's unconscious or drowning or whatever. Face first in the water, even though I had a life jacket on. and my thoughts were, something's not right. I think I'm unconscious. And then I thought, oh, but your face is in the water, so no matter what's going on, you need to get your face out of the water because you need to breathe. So I remember turning myself onto my back, lying there, and then I thought, oh, I should check on Declan. And I was like, Declan, you okay? Because when we landed, I heard him like like kind of a moan, so I knew he was like sore but okay. And then I was like, Declan, you okay? No answer. Declan, are you okay? And he said, I'm okay. But I guess he was giving me a thumbs up, but I couldn't see because I was lying there with my eyes closed, just trying to process the pain and the... So I don't know if I got the wind knocked out of me, if I was like semi-conscious for a moment, what the experience was. I don't know. I've never felt that way in my life. I knew something was wrong, and it just was, yeah, something I've never experienced before. But anyways, hitting my face, it's weird too because my face isn't bruised. You'd think like smacking your face so hard, because I don't know if it was Billy or somebody said they almost broke their nose, but it did. It felt like literally like a cartoon, like my face was flat for a moment. That's what I remember feeling. But I don't have any bruises on my face and everything, but bruising your brain, like having a concussion, which I've never had before, like the symptoms and everything. So I probably have a concussion. It can last like up to 2 or 3 weeks, and like I'm probably gonna go to the doctor just to get an all clear for flying. It's not like the most severe concussion ever. I wasn't unconscious, I wasn't throwing up, but it's mostly, the only symptoms that I've really noticed is I've had a really bad headache for days. Actually today it's starting to feel, it's still there, but it's not as bad as it's been the last few days. And it's a really bad headache that won't go away with painkillers. And also like doing stuff like packing up from camping and stuff yesterday, anytime I had to like lean down to get something or anything, that pressure on my head was just way more. So yesterday was a really hard day because I had to, help to pack up everything and put the tent away and all that stuff. So yesterday was quite a hard day on my head, but I just have to take it easy. And so the other thing is like my focus, so my train of thought, like I said, more than normal. Usually my brain just gets distracted with other thoughts, but right now sometimes I'm slower in my processing right now. So if you notice that, that's why I have a concussion right now. Hello, Samantha, I miss you. And if you want to know why I have a concussion, I explained the whole thing like a few minutes ago, so you have to watch from the beginning again to find out why I have a concussion. And Samantha says, we are missing you. I'm missing you too, don't worry. It's only like 10 days until we're back or something, which makes me sad to have to leave here, but happy to get back. Everybody loves being in their own bed and being at home, but it is sad that I can't just come here on weekends or twice a year or whenever I feel like it. But anyways, that is, and I thought I would just leave my hair the way, this is camping, like looking like whatever comes out of the lake. I swam so much with my family. We are such water babies, my mom and me and my siblings. Declan, out of the grandkids, was the one that was in the water most. It's weird because Allison and Aurora were definitely water babies in the past, but they're, teenagers, young adults right now. So there's, and Allie wasn't feeling good a lot of the time. So, but they still did go swimming. They enjoyed themselves. Erica and Aurora went on the boat. They didn't go on the tube, but they went on the boat, and Erica even tried fishing. Mom went fishing too, and we had a few delicious fish meals. Me and my sister Tina learned how to clean jackfish, because jackfish are really bony fish, and they have these like Y bones or something in them. I put a V, but it's a Y bone. And so my brother watched a video on how to do a 5 fillet cut on a jackfish without getting the Y bones in. So he said he would keep instead of throwing them back, he would keep the jackfish if somebody else would clean them. So me and my sister Tina said, we'll clean them if you get them. Steve caught a huge, massive one, and we cleaned them. We had a yummy meal with that. And then the other fish that we had on other catches were walleye, which is, they tasted good to me, both of them, but walleye is like, what's the other name for walleye? Like pickerel. They're easier to clean. And then jackfish, might call them pike. They tasted good, but yeah, I guess they're really bony fish. But me and Tina did a really good job. There was barely any bones left in it when we made it, and it tasted very tasty and yummy. Samantha says, Tyler is so happy to be talking to Eric on the phone again. Laugh out loud. Yes, because again, we didn't have internet out at the lake, so none of the girls could talk to their friends and family. So we did go to town twice, and both times we took Allison so that she could talk to her boyfriend on video. Sam Harley Wilmore says, hi Lisa, hope you're well. Thanks, Sam. I'm doing well. It's hot out today. I think it's going to be a high of 27 or 28 today. I don't know if you guys can see, but while we were gone, the pool went flat. So I'm going to deal with that when I'm done my live. And then we got to go grocery shopping because we just got back from the lake yesterday. And like I said, yesterday was a hard day on my head. So I didn't feel like doing anything. After we got home, I honestly just needed to lie down and rest my head. And I guess something that's changed, like in the past, they used to tell you not to let a person with a concussion sleep. And I get that. I think it's more like that they want to make sure that if you're sleeping, you're only sleeping, that you're not actually passed out or unconscious. But but if you read about it, like sleeping and resting is part of like it's a bruise on your brain, so you just need to let it heal. Sam says it's been 26 here, so warm. Yeah, I know it's been really nice in England as well, because our son Tom is having to take care of things back home, and he's telling me that when it's like that, the plants in the pots need to be watered every day, if not every second day. So we'll see how many dead plants I have when I get back home. I can't worry about that right now. It is what it is. I just got to know that the plants can be replaced, but spending time with my family here can't be. So what else? So we've done so many fun things. That's the only hard part about being in like Canada and trips like this, is that we want to fit in so much at once, but we have been, and so it's okay. So even going out to so when we left here to go camping, we stopped at my cousin Darlene's house and had a visit with her, and then her daughter Jaylene came home as well, so we got to see Jaylene. Something that we did there that was awesome, super fun, is my cousin Darlene, so she has a farm, and she has she bought this huge, like bouncy castles and stuff like that. She bought this huge blow up water slide, and it is so awesome. Like, I'm gonna post pictures of all of our adventures and travels as soon as I can, but this water slide was so cool, and even my mom wanted to go on it, but her back was bothering her, so she didn't go on it then. But me and Erica and Aurora and Allison went on it, and my cousin Darlene took videos, and it was super fun. Super fun. It's like, at first when you go up, it's like a little bit intimidating and scary because the angle looks like you're almost going straight down. But once you start doing it, it's more like fun and thrilling than scary. It's not scary at all. And you stay cushioned into the slide the whole time because it's like an air thing, right? So it was a lot of fun. I wish my mom could have went on it. She really wanted to go on it. It's hard when you have those things and you're you really want to do it, but you can't. Just like the tubing behind the boat and stuff. So then after we left Arlene's, we went on our way, and then we went to St. Paul, which is the town that my mom is from, that she was born and raised in. Well, she was actually born in North Battleford, Saskatchewan, but she was raised in St. Paul. And there's a UFO landing pad that we wanted to go to. We did that, as well as we went and saw, it's my cousin's cousins. But it's funny how, who did we just see? Oh, my little sister Tina's friend. I told you guys, maybe I told you guys a couple weeks ago, but my little sister Tina's friend Sheena that was the day that we left to Grand Prairie. She was so excited to see us and to see Aurora and how grown up Aurora is, because she remembers going to Klondike Days and to a concert with my sister Tina, and they took Aurora when she was little. And so Sheena remembering Aurora when she was little, now seeing her when she's big. That's my cousin's cousin. So my cousins are my cousins because of my uncle being my mom's brother. But on their mom's side, on my cousin's mom's side, they have these cousins who are the Jacksons. And, well, that's also my auntie's maiden name before she married my uncle and became a Malone. It was Jackson. So they are my cousin's cousins, but Sharon, my cousin's cousin, remembers when I was little, them dressing me up, my cousin Janice and her cousin Sharon, dressing me up and playing with me like a doll when I was little. So then we became friends on Facebook talking about that and how they remembered me when I was little and yada yada. And she has a daughter named Lisa, and me and Lisa became friends, and we've been friends for like years now, like even when I lived in Saskatchewan. And so when we went to St. Paul, we got to see them and Lisa's kids, and that was a really good visit there, and really tasty iced tea. I'm just going to say, Sam Harley Wilmore said, I spent the day at the cemetery. It is Harley's heavenly birthday, so spent time there. I'm glad that it was nice weather for you. Happy heavenly birthday to Harley. That's her son who passed away. And we are actually planning on going to the cemetery today as well to go see my dad, because yesterday would have been my parents' 56th wedding anniversary. And today is my sister Tina and her husband Ryan's. Hang on, what year did they get married? Where was I when they got married? There, and then, so Aurora was like 2 and she's 18, so like 16th anniversary or something. What year was it? Yeah, something like that, 16 years. So anyways, happy anniversary to Tina and Ryan. And then yesterday for my parents, if my dad was still alive. So where was I in our adventures? So St. Paul, we saw the UFO landing pad. I think I told you guys this before. In St. Paul, Alberta, you can look it up, the UFO landing pad. It's the world's first UFO landing pad. The girls asked why they built it. It's because if aliens are real, which I believe they are, but this was their thinking, is that if aliens are real, they wanted them to know that there's a place that welcomes them to this earth, and, you know, like a friendly, welcoming place for them, even if the landing pad wasn't big enough for them or whatever. It was the gesture of saying, we're friendly, we welcome you, etc. When it was built in, oh, I can't remember what year now. Okay, anyways, when it was built in the 50s or 50s, I want to say, they did a time capsule that's going to be open in 100 years, and my mom was in grade 9 and she contributed to the time capsule as well. When they open that time capsule, I'm going to be like 88 or 89, so I don't know if I'll be able to be there for the 100th anniversary of the UFO landing pad, but my kids or my kids' kids
it was 66.
Thanks, Mom. Mama coming out the window. In 1966 it was built. And yeah, so my kids or my grandkids will be able to be at the 100th year when they open the time capsule, and that would be really cool. So after St. Paul, we went to Bonnyville. We didn't know if we were going to stay in St. Paul for the night or if we were going to stay in Bonnyville, which isn't very far. So my mom is from St. Paul and my dad is from Bonnyville, but my mom and dad met when my dad was working at a bank in St. Paul, and my mom's friend was going on a date, and she had a friend, her boyfriend's friend was like there, so, which was my dad, and my mom's friend asked if she wanted to go on a blind date. So that's how my parents met when they were 17, on a blind date. And then they ended up getting, so they met in October, were engaged in February, and married in August. So they were married, it hadn't even been a year since they met. And then, as you know, they were together until my dad passed away, and yesterday would have been 56 years for their wedding. So Bonnyville isn't very far from St. Paul, so we decided to mosey on to Bonnyville for the night and then find a hotel there. When we got there, we checked into a hotel and we were looking for somewhere to eat. It was a little bit late. We didn't know where we were going to go. We were kind of like, we thought A&W, but it was 9 o'clock and A&W closed. No, it was 9:30 and A&W closed at 10. And Boston Pizza closed at 11. So we were trying to, and Steve said, just choose one. And I said, okay, Boston Pizza, it's right there. It was like right behind the hotel. So we drove over to Boston Pizza. And the funny thing was that is when we were going in the door, I can't remember what I said or if I held the door for somebody or I said something. And then I looked at this man that I was like going to hold the door for or whatever. I said something to him and I was like, Uncle Marcel? And it was my uncle, my auntie's ex-husband, father of my cousins, that I haven't seen in years. And he's like, Lisa? So it was him and his son, who I haven't met his two kids from his, not my auntie, but from his new marriage. And he has two kids, Andrew and Cassidy, and Andrew is already 17 and Cassidy is like 16 or 15. So that tells you how many years it's been since I've even seen him. And yeah, so it was him and his son Andrew, and we sat with them in Boston Pizza and had a dinner with them. But the funny thing is, like, my uncle is from Bonnyville originally as well, because my dad's family's from there. So my auntie is my dad's sister, my Auntie Joan. So Uncle Marcel and his family is from there, but he doesn't live there. He lives up in Grand Prairie, but I guess he works there a lot. So I'm not surprised that I saw him in Bonnyville, because that's where he's from, but it is surprising because he lives in Grand Prairie. But I think it would probably be, if I thought about it, it would be more surprising for him to see me in Bonnyville, because he works there all the time. He's used to being in Bonnyville. But what are the chances that you see your niece that you haven't seen in forever, and she lives in England? So yeah, it'd be more weird for him to see me than me to see him. But we had a dinner with him. Great. He's funny, and everything else. That was a good meal. And then we stayed at the hotel overnight, which was very comfy and nice, and a great breakfast in the morning. It was Best Western, I believe. And then in the morning, on the next morning, we were seeing some of the things that Bonnyville had to offer, which included going to my grandma's house, which still stands, but nobody lives in it. After my grandma died in 1992, when I was 13, the house eventually got sold, and then it was rented out from whoever owned it for a while, and it kind of just went downhill. I mean, it wasn't in the best state when my grandma, because I was mad at my auntie for selling it, but she said you wouldn't want to live there anyways. Like, it was just getting run down. You know, when you're older and you have a house and you can't do the repairs yourself, or even maybe afford to do the repairs and stuff, so it was getting more run down. But it's still standing. It's not like anything special to anybody else, but it is to us because of all the memories and everything else. But it's just like a World War II house. It's a two-story World War II house, and it's all, like, the last time I saw it years and years and years ago, some of the windows are smashed. There was like a motorbike in the kitchen, and like it was just not in the best condition. But this time it's still standing, but the windows are all boarded up. There is a mural up in one of the bedrooms on a wall that my Auntie Joan painted when she was a teenager, but then my grandma boarded over it with like panels, and so the house is still standing. That means that mural is still there that I've never got to see. So I'd love to break in and take a picture of it, but it's not going to happen because that's illegal, and I don't have time because we'll be leaving the country. So in Bonnyville, we showed the kids my dad's high school, Notre Dame, because it's just down from my grandma's, and the church, where the church bells, 3 big bells, you would hear them ringing at my grandma's house, and go to church there. And it was when I was a kid, it used to be in, well, I guess originally like it was in Latin, and then it was just in French, because Bonnyville is Happy Village, Happy Town, is a very French town, and the mass used to be in French when I was a kid, and then I don't know if they do it in English or French now, but I don't really go to church anymore either. So what else did we see in Bonnyville? Bless you, Mom. We went on from Bonnyville to where we camped near, it's Meadow Lake Provincial Park, and we camped at one of the lakes called Kimball Lake. I guess my family's camped there before for a few years. Really nice. It's one of the smaller lakes, but it's really nice and clean, and lovely area to camp in. So definitely would suggest there, or I'd go there again. Sorry if the wind is picking up on the microphone. I don't know if it is or not, but yeah. And we enjoyed ourselves camping, and like I said, we did lots of fun things there. There was ice cream, lots of time with the family. I didn't go fishing, but that's okay. I do like fishing, but I wasn't too bothered about fishing. But I did want to go on the boat, and I wanted to go tubing, which I did. And just swimming lots, marshmallows, s'mores, group meals made together, just enjoying ourselves, reading, and all those things. Had lots of fun, and mostly the most important thing was spending time with family. And when you're that close and there's no internet and stuff, you get to just spend time with the nieces and nephews, and the cousins get to spend time together, or even the siblings, and have experiences together. So we really enjoyed ourselves camping. It was very hard for us that left. My brother and my older sister Melody are still out there for a few more days, but my little sister Tina and her family, like her and her husband, had an event today to go to. Oh yeah, that's why. Yeah, so it's their anniversary, and they're going to, is it the Folk Fest right now? There is some kind of festival that they were going to for a day today. So I think it might be the Folk Festival that's on today. So they were going to that, so they had to be back for that today. that's why they left on the 10th. So we were like, okay, well, we'll leave on the 10th too, so we have more time in Edmonton to see people. But yeah, and now it's basically, this week is just an Edmonton week, so I still haven't posted, but I need to post. Like, I'm for the most part just gonna be at my parents' house, my mom's house now, and just here for, you know, people to come and visit and everything else. But I want to do, like, I think I'm going to do it, like, I wanted to do it on the weekend where most people will have time to go. But the thing is, I didn't want to do it on Friday because Saturday we have the mud run. And I don't want to be, like, I don't want to hang out real late with people on Friday and then be super tired for Saturday. But I don't know how I'm going to feel after the mud run on Saturday. But I think I'm going to plan a thing for Saturday night for people to come and visit, where, like, more of a party type thing. Other than that, like, if you want to see us and you're watching this, just message me and we'll make a time to fit you in. Yeah, I have like a lunch date and a dinner date with some friends this week as well. But for the most part, this is just the Edmonton time. So we're going to see people in and around Edmonton and all the last people who want to see us. Besides the mud run on Saturday and, like I said, a lunch and a dinner date, I don't have anything super planned this week. Shannon, if you're still watching, or if Nicole's watching, the pool is flat right now, but I'm going to fix it when I'm done this. And then Shannon, I'll let you and the kids know when it's ready, so you guys can come over this week, because I told Nicole and her kids that they could come over and go in the pool when we were back. So besides that, like, honestly, if the pool was up and ready yesterday when we got back, we would have went in it last night. So I got to get that ready. And the temperature out right now, it would be nice if it was up. The problem is I need to blow up the ring. Steve gave, like, the camping stuff, like, he gave the rechargeable pump to blow up the ring. He gave it to Tina to put with the camping stuff. So we do have the hand pump, so I could do that one, although, like, still my muscles are sore and everything from the tubing. But I'm not gonna blow it up with my mouth, because I mean, that's hard enough on the head when you aren't suffering from a concussion, but I'm not doing anything to make my head worse. So I can do the arm thing and get other people to help blow up the ring, but before I can put the water back in it, I need the ring to be blown up most of the way, at least. So not important to you guys. I'll get it done. I always do. So like I said, though, if you're wondering why I'm all over the place with my thinking, or I just seem a little spaced out, I guess that's what a concussion will do to you. Like I said, I've never played extreme sports or anything. I played softball, but I've never had a concussion before. Contrary to what people think about my brain and brain injuries. I want to turn it this way so you can see the Coca-Cola, but the way the thing is that goes in my mouth, you will only see that. This was ice cold when I got out of the fridge to do my live, and now it's been 40 minutes already of me rambling on, and my pop is not cold anymore. So I will miss camping. We can camp in England, and we can have campfires in England and make s'mores in England, although they don't have graham crackers, but even if I brought some over. So there's lots of things we could do in England that are similar, and there's even lakes in England. But I think Steve and the girls realized this time, because last time when we camped 5 years ago, we camped in the mountains, which was camping, and it was fun, but it wasn't the way that me and my family traditionally camp. Where we camped growing up, it was a lake, so we got to swim the whole time we were there for, like, the whole 2 months of summer. And to us, whether we're spoiled or what, we just associate camping with swimming. So we like to, and we live in Alberta, and, you know, Alberta, Saskatchewan, even Canada in general, there's so many lakes that it's not hard to find a lake to camp at. I guess in Alberta, the lakes are worse, where a lot of them you can't swim in if there's blue-green algae and stuff, because it's, like, bad water maintenance because of oil industries or other companies or whatever. They're messing up the water here. But in Saskatchewan, a lot of the lakes are still really nice, so you could swim. But yeah, what I was saying is, even if we did this in England, first of all, my family wouldn't be there, like my siblings and my mom and stuff. So I don't know how many of the people in England would like camping the way we do. And also, even if we camped at a lake or in the Lake District, the weather in England is more mild all year, but it's a different sun here. Like, the sun is stronger here, so it warms up the water, and the night temperatures, well, let me get to that. Night temperatures here usually stay in the teens at least, so the water has a chance to warm up in the summer and it doesn't cool off. Whereas in England, even if the daytime temperatures are like what I find in England, like right now I'm sitting in the shade and I'm hot because of the weather outside. But in England, the sun will be hot when it's shining on you, but if it goes behind a cloud or you're in the shade, it feels cooler. So the air doesn't warm up like it does here. And therefore the air is not really warm. So at night when the temperatures go lower, like the water in the lakes and stuff doesn't have the chance to warm up like it does here. So the lakes are colder, and then the seaside obviously is really cold. I'll still go in it, but it's just colder. So it's not as appealing as going in a nice lake where it's cool enough to be refreshing, but warm enough not to make your body hurt. So, but saying that, oh my gosh, I have no idea what was going on the last few nights that we were camping. The temperatures, one of the nights when Steve and the rest of them got up to go fishing, it was 3 degrees when they got to the lake that they went fishing at, which was just down the road from the lake we were camping at. 3 degrees overnight. What is happening? Like August in Alberta, 3 degrees overnight? That is not normal. Me and Steve, a few of the nights were very cold in our tent. So yeah, that's weird to have it so low overnight now it's back up in the teens overnight. So, but we're also in a house now, so we don't have to be as cold as in the tent. Like, it's not that it's a bad thing. Like, you can camp even in the winter if you want to, but you prepare differently. Like, even my sister Tina said they would have brought, more like warmer clothes and different things if you knew it was going to be that temperature overnight. But I didn't expect that, because that's not, I guess, just like the having plus 30, 40 degrees in the summertime that they've had this year and last year isn't normal Alberta weather. Neither is like having it like 3 degrees overnight isn't normal. So who knows? The extremes are crazy. Auntie Diane says hi there. Hi, Auntie Diane. What else can I tell you guys about? We've just been having so many adventures in Canada, doing so many things. Tom said front and back garden has been watered. Grass has been mowed and reseeded in the patches. So Tom is just doing an amazing job taking care of everything at home, and it makes me really happy. It makes me feel like better about things, and it also makes me feel really loved and special that he cares to do that for me and his dad, to take care of everything. And let's be real, it's more for me than his dad, but yeah, it makes me feel really great that Tom is taking care of everything and that he cares enough to do those things to make us happy. So thank you, Tom, even though you won't watch this. I don't remember what I was just saying. Auntie Dan says, laugh out loud every time I see you, you're wearing yellow. I know, the crazy thing, okay, so yellow makes me happy. It's a sunshine color, so like my summer shirts, it says bring on the sunshine, and when you can't find the sunshine, be the sunshine, or whatever my other ones say. And blue is actually my favorite color, but yellow is my second favorite color, and it's just a happy, sunshiny color, so it just makes me happy. And saying that, I didn't realize, I brought 3 yellow shirts and 1 white shirt with yellow arms, and I meant to buy some more t-shirts while I was here and everything, but I haven't done it yet. So yeah, I just keep recirculating the same shirt, so most of my posts and pictures are going to be in yellow, but it is a happy color. It makes me happy. So that's what I was saying. Instagram is being stupid because I didn't have internet, and then when I went to town I tried to do a bunch of posts on my Instagram to make up for when I was gone. I was so proud of myself for being quick-fingered, getting these posts done so quick and everything else. Well, it decided that I'm a spam bot. So I'm having problems with Instagram right now. It says that you'll hear back from them. Most people hear back from them within 4 days or sooner, but it could take longer, and it's been more than 4 days. It was last Friday that I went to town, and then Tuesday we went to town, and so Instagram thinks I'm a bot, so I'm having trouble with posting on Instagram and stuff, but I will try and post my pictures on Facebook when I get a chance. I know you guys, everybody's on vacation and doing fun things, so I don't know how many people are really that interested in seeing all my holiday pictures, but with like I said, the blow up water slide and certain things, I know that'll be cool to see, or the big fish that Steve caught. Proud of my niece and nephew, Felicity who's 6 and Declan who's 10. They also caught some fish, and yeah, everyone just had a great time, and we're all good. Steve has about a gazillion mosquito bites because they sure like that English blood. He has like on one arm, it looks like he put his arm into a hornet's nest. It's like probably over 100 mosquito bites just on his arm. As you can see, I have a bit of a tan. You can see little scars that I wouldn't even have noticed except with the tan. But I don't really, I have a couple mosquito bites. I think my mom pointed out one somewhere here. I don't know, it doesn't itch or I don't feel it. But mine is more just bruises that you can't see. Today, my spine, on either side of my spine is really hurting. So I'm sore in different places. I will take pictures of the bruises if and when they show up. But I want to do one of those charts, like now that I'm home, I can print off the charts with like the body, the front and back, and then you put all the injuries where you have injuries. So I'm going to mark out all the bruises I have from my tubing. Auntie Diane says, are you in Edmonton? Yes, back in Edmonton at Mom's house in the garden. We got back yesterday. So Auntie said, I'm late joining. How was camping in Saskatchewan? Auntie, you can listen back, even if you listen to it on double speed, and I'll tell it. I talk about everything in Saskatchewan is really good. And I have a concussion from tubing, but again, I explain how that happened and why. So yeah, there's all that is in the previous 40 minutes. Sorry, need to hydrate. What else was I going to tell you guys about besides always saying what else can I tell you about? Like I said, I'm sad that our time in Canada is coming to an end so quickly, and happy that we've made so many different memories and stuff. Yeah, it is hot here. I think it's like 27 or 28 of a high today. I don't know what it is actually at the moment, but yes, even in the shade right now, I'm hot. So I'm gonna fix the pool up. Me and Steve are gonna go grocery shopping as well, but after that, I might go straight into the pool. It was hard keeping up with my journaling while I was out at the lake. It's funny because you don't want to sleep in, but you do want to sleep in because you're on holiday. But then the days, like with making different meals and then going down to the lake and swimming, and it just feels like the days, and then, you know, before you know it, it's like evening, you're like, or you're making dinner, and then it's evening, you're getting ready to go sit around the campfire. And then I tried to get to bed around 11 because, again, I knew I liked to sleep and I didn't want to sleep in too late. So I would try to get to bed at 11. Like, the days just went by so quickly. So I thought I would do a lot more. Like, I bought a watercolor set for myself and for each of the grandkids. I mean, like nieces and nephews. I bought each of them like a little watercolor set from the dollar store, but it had like 18 colors. So I thought I would get to do more painting and more writing and stuff. But the days just went by quickly and too busy making memories to do that. Even Auntie Diane, when I was looking back in my journal and the things we did, I was like, whoa, I thought we spent like so much longer at Uncle Arthur and Auntie Diane, but it was only a few days, but it felt like we were there for, you know, at least a week or more, but it couldn't believe that we were only there for a couple days. But, you know, you try to fit everything in, and I think we did a good job. It's just, like I said, it's too bad that we can't come to Canada more often. It's kind of cool though, because there's so many people that even if I lived here, I wouldn't see these people, because you tend to take people for granted, right? So if you live in and around them, how many times have you seen, you know, like your friends or your cousins lately and stuff like that? Whereas when you're so far away, coming here, people make the effort, and like you make the effort to see each other because you don't know when you're going to see each other again. So I love that I am making the effort to make the plans, and other people who want to see me are making the effort to see me and the family. Whereas who knows how often we would have seen each other. Like even my cousin Darlene stopping at her place, partly because it was on the way, so we could fit her in, but also because it would be lovely to see her. But I don't even remember the last time I saw my cousin Darlene, right? And then even if I lived here, when would we make the plans to see each other unless it was a family event or something else? Because you just take those things for granted, which you shouldn't. So even Auntie Diane, up at Auntie Diane and Uncle Arthur's house, like the Auntie Diane had the idea to do a potluck, and, you know, all the family, you know, the McDermott family and stuff. And it's like, well, how often do they do those things? You know, it shouldn't take, I'm not saying they don't do them when we're not here, but it shouldn't take us coming from England to get the family together. It should happen more often. And Auntie Dan says, exactly, we live in the same town and hardly ever visit. Exactly. So it's unfortunate that my Auntie Emily didn't come out for that too, but if she had, it was like, Am I missing anyone? Oh, go ahead and read third. Yeah, so that's like all my dad's siblings were out there, except the ones who have passed away, and then the one that Auntie Emily couldn't come out because she has like COPD or whatever, and there was stuff in the air, and she just didn't feel safe coming out. Mike Ender says, sorry you can't go to Jasper, sad face. Yes, I know about the fires in Jasper and everything else. Unfortunately, it's very sad that that happened and everything. Fortunately for us, we went to Jasper and Banff in that last time we were here 5 years ago. So Steve got to see that before it all happened. Oh, and then Mike says, oh, and love the screw trick with the lock. Yeah, it's this thing that I posted for like when you install your door, like the little catch plate that goes not on the door but on the frame of the door, the little catch plate. It comes with 2 little screws, which if you think about it, if you want to smash in a door, that little catch plate isn't going to hold anything with 2 little screws. So the hack is like to put in really long screws instead of the ones that come with the catch plate, and then it'll hold that in more solid. The door that we have at our house is like super duper, like we made sure when we bought our front door that it was like, it's a special one with extra like latchy locks and all this stuff like you watch on the police shows, and they basically usually have to cut into the door because they're really hard to break into. So, but yeah, it is a good idea, and I just posted the link to that hack. My sister Tina was texting as well while I was just talking, and I don't know what she said. I think she said my cousin Natasha is in town for, oh yeah, which is good because actually I didn't get to see Natasha, like out of the Stamp girls, my cousin Maureen's kids. She has 3 girls, Nikita, Natasha, and Erica, and we didn't get to see Natasha when we were up there, but we saw Nikita and Erica. Auntie Dan says, did you get to see the Northern Lights yet on your visit here? No, although like I pee so many times in the night that when I would get out of the tent camping, we got to see the stars lots, but I would check every night to see if they were out. I'm not too bothered about the Northern Lights because I've seen them, again, things we take for granted. I've seen them growing up my whole life, winter, summer. I've seen them so much that it's something that I know what it looks like, and not that they're not enjoyable, but so if I see them, I'm going to enjoy them, but if I don't see them, I'll be okay. But I would love, you know, for Steve to experience them and stuff. I'm sure he saw them last time he was here. I can't remember for sure, but yeah, if they happen, that would be good for him to see. Oh, hang on. Mike Ender says, check out the U of A Aurora Watch and you can get email alerts. Quick drive out to Elk Island. Well, no, I mean, I'm not that bothered. But if they're out, we'll be able to see them, but it's just weather. I mean, there's also those times when it's like, when, you know, it's supposed to be something good to see in the sky and then it's cloudy. So I believe in fate. If it's meant to happen, it will happen. So speaking of which, me and my mom need to check our lottery tickets, because you don't have to play the lottery all the time. If you're meant to win in this lifetime, you will win, but you have to play. So you can't win if you don't play. So playing once in a while is just as good as playing all the time, because, you know, if you believe in the universe and things like that, I believe that it'll happen if it's supposed to. So we need to check our tickets. Mike Ender says, wait, don't you see an aurora pretty much every day? Haha. Yeah, and Allison is named Alice. So if we call the youngest daughter Erica Boris, then we have Aurora, Boris, and Allison. So Aurora Borealis. So Erica, you can change her name to Boris, and then we have the Northern Lights for us all the time. If you don't know, Aurora is named after my mom's mom's mom. My great-grandma's name was Aurora. Or with an E on the end. I don't know if that was like the French way of saying Aurora. I'm not sure. It's saying slow connection, so if it's glitching or anything, I apologize. Have you guys missed me and my ramblings for the hours? Because listen, just because I haven't had internet does not mean that I haven't rambled. There's so many strangers out there who know so much about my life because of trying to reconnect. Because that is what I do, is ramble and ramble and ramble. There's other people that I met too who do that. There was one lady who talked to us in the water, and she could see her husband shaking his head up on the land because he knew that his wife talks to people wherever she goes. And I'm like that. And then when we were standing in line for the showers, well, there's only a couple people in line, but we were waiting, and we're talking to another lady who says that Oh, because Willow, my cousin's friend, my niece Shay's friend Willow, who was camping with them, came in and she was saying that they were just talking about how I will talk to, or maybe it was Steve or whoever, they were talking about how I will just talk to anybody anywhere. And then she came into the shower house and I was talking to strangers, and so she was shaking her head laughing as well. That is what happens when you don't get out much and you like to talk. You will just talk to whoever is willing to listen. And that is also why you realize that your family and friends learn to just tone you out or walk away because they don't want to listen. You get used to it and not get offended by it. I also noticed that my mom's, like, what do you call those things? Motion sensor lights above her door look like a face. It's like two lights like this. And then underneath there's like this circle thing with the little motion detector or whatever. And it looks like a mouth. So I'm going to take a picture of it. I keep looking up at it and it looks like a weird face looking back at me. We went on a nature walk with my sister Melody and then my little sister Tina, her husband Ryan, and their 2 kids. We went on a slow nature walk to another lake called, excuse me, I believe it's called Little Raspberry Lake. Excuse me, and my burps. This is what happens when I drink pop. So we were walking around and taking pictures of different things. I'll have to get some of the pictures that Ryan took as well, because my niece Felicity, the 6-year-old, she likes to paint and do art and stuff too. So I was telling her about the nature journal that me and Steve did in the springtime in one of our art classes. So me and Felicity were going to do a nature journal on our nature walk. So we are going to paint, like you start with like the landscape, so the trees and everything else, and then you put in some features of like little insects or plants or flowers that you saw on your nature walk, and you can write things in it, like a little bit of a sketchy journal type thing. And so we're going to do that, so with some of the pictures. So one of the days when she comes over while we're still here, I'll have the pictures out so we can paint them and stuff. So that's a good idea. Actually, I should go and take the pictures and print them off at like Walmart or wherever there's one of those kiosk things that you can just print the pictures, and that way we have them on the table that she can look at them as well as me and sketch and then paint. So that would be nice to do. What else do you guys want to know? My arms, everything's sore. The inner arm is really sore, like from holding on to the like the tube, but that's getting a little bit better. Like I said, on either side of my spine, right in the middle of my back right now, that's what's really sore today. I don't know why. Might have slept funny. Could be from the injuries and stuff. And then the rest is just bruising for the most part. I'm not, oh yeah, when I came back and I told Steve what happened, he said, you know, you got to remember you're an old lady now. But listen, if grandma can be the wildest grandma on the beach and go tubing, then so can her 45-year-old daughter. But it was fun, no regrets, even with the concussion. You know, I see those people who like do extreme sports or even like skateboarding or dirt biking or all these things where they have these wipeouts, and I just think, no, because I don't like getting hurt. So I didn't even like play fighting because I don't like being hurt. So I didn't do those things. I mean, I used to BMX. When you're a kid, you have a different like a mindset. So when I was young and I had a BMX bike and you went flying off your bike and scraped your knees and everything else, it was totally different. But for the most part, growing up, I didn't like getting hurt, so I didn't do those things that would put... And plus, I'm so clumsy that I hurt myself. Like, I just bit my lip while I said that. I'm so clumsy, and I hurt myself all the time without trying to do something extreme, right? So, I don't... But it was just worth the risk for tubing. It was just worth it. I don't regret it. I had so much fun. I see, I even putting my head back like that. Once I'm totally recovered, the memory will not be of the negative things. It'll just be of the positive things. Luckily, hopefully, even the concussion will go away, and hopefully there'll be no permanent injuries from my crash landings. Unfortunately, no one was recording it because it's very hard to hold on to a phone while you're going in a speedboat like that. But also, after, like, an afterthought was like, we have so many GoPros at home from Steve recording things for feathers and ghost hunting and stuff that I wish we would have brought some of our GoPros, but we didn't. That's hindsight. But yeah, so nobody recorded my 7-foot crash, or higher than 7 foot or whatever, but I know exactly, I can picture it in my head. I know what it felt like, and then from people's explanations, yeah, I can picture it in my head. So like I said, hopefully there's no permanent damage. And luckily it'll be a couple weeks from the accident till we have to fly. So most airlines require it to be, if it's within 10 days from the accident, they require like signed permission from your doctor. But it'll have been more than 10 days, so we'll be okay that way. But I should still go to a doctor, explain what happened, and just get checked out to confirm that I'm okay to fly and that I don't have any, what are they called? It might be, no, it's not hemorrhages. It might be something like cranial hemorrhages, like just something, anything that will happen, because you don't realize like when you're flying and you feel normal, but because the pressure is so high up in the sky there, the cabin of a airplane is pressurized, like depressurized or whatever. Like it's a different environment in there. That's why you get like the ears, like your ears need to pop and stuff like that, and like you do feel different in a plane, which is weird because on the way here to Canada, like on our long haul flight, I had the worst headache and felt like ill and everything on the way here. It was the worst flight. The flight was fine. For me, I felt the worst I've ever felt on a flight, and it might have just been timing and whatever. So I like hope I don't feel that way again. So the fact that I have to fly with this pressure in my brain will, like, I hope, like, obviously if I just have to feel like shit, I'll get through it, but I would hate to like have something happen that was permanent or kill me or injure me or something like that. It would just be horrific for everybody involved, like my family and everybody. But so I think the smart thing to do would be to go to the doctor and just have the all clear. There's no part of me that wants to change our flights or anything anyways, but it's just, I think the responsible, smart thing to do would just be to go to the doctor, get checked over, make sure it's all clear. The fact that like the symptoms, like I said, like even the headache is feeling a bit better today is a good sign. So yeah, well, just like better to be safe than sorry. So anybody who's had a concussion before can tell me what they think, but I don't think it's the most severe concussion ever. Like I said, I wasn't unconscious as far as I know. Didn't throw up, didn't pass out afterwards or anything else. So yeah, we'll see. This is my last live before, like, wait, hang on. No, I'm lying. It's the 11th, so it'll be the 18th. The day after the mud run will be my next live. So that will be here in Canada. And then that'll be my last live in Canada. And then we'll be going back to the UK. So we will see you one more time next Sunday. I will be exhausted and sore probably on next Sunday as well from the mud run, but different type of soreness. And I, again, like no regrets. I'm going to fight my way through it even though I'm not in shape right now. And it just makes me frustrated too. Like I know I can get in shape again, but you just realize when you're out of shape and you try to do things, you think this is ridiculous. Like just a bit of exercise every day and I would have the, what's the other word for stamina? Like the, you know, when you get out of breath, then you don't have the, I can't think of the word that I've been trying to think of, but it's like stamina, like you just, Auntie Diane says the mud run sounds interesting. Make sure you get pictures. Yeah, well, the sibling, like my sisters and stuff have done it before, and my friend Rachel and her daughter Ashlyn, they're doing it as well, and they've done it before as well. And it's just like obstacles and like running. It's a 5-kilometer run and obstacles. Well, Melody said you can do walk as well, but you just go over obstacles and do different things, and it's 5 kilometers and it's muddy. So you start out clean and you end up muddy. So I've never done any of these things. I have lots of friends who do lots of different races and marathons and different things and get these medals for things. I'm not opposed to doing those things besides the fact that I have arthritis in my knees. So I am not going to be a runner. But the other thing is like, not that I have any problem with donating or raising money for good causes, but I don't like the idea of like having to try and get money from my friends and family for a marathon and then doing another marathon and then asking the same people for money. And like, I just don't like that idea of it. But doing events and stuff like that is pretty cool. And if I, like, once I start working out and stuff and getting in shape again, there's no reason that I couldn't do some types of things. Again, I don't think that it'll be marathons and running. I don't think it'll be, I guess I could like, because I can swim. See, this is the thing. I don't have good coordination and I'm not overly athletic, but I could swim and I can bike ride. So like, and I could run if I needed to. once I train enough where my knees have muscle around them so it doesn't hurt my knees to run. So I could do like a triathlon. So it's not like I'm opposed to like exercise and stuff like that. It's just that I would only be doing it for a personal best and to say that I did it. It's not like I would be competing against people, because even when I swim, I really do. I can swim underwater and I can hold my breath. I can even train to do that, to hold my breath underwater and do stuff like that for a long time. So I have no problem putting my head underwater. However, I'm really bad at, even when I did swimming lessons and was more in shape, like when I swim, I don't like having my head under the water and then coming up for air and then putting my head under the water and coming up for air. I don't like it. I've tried to do it. Like I said, I don't have a problem with holding my breath and going underwater, but when I swim like that, I tend to keep my head up the whole way, which obviously slows me down because of the aerodynamics and stuff. But so who knows what the future holds with my physical strength. But maybe there's some kind of gardening games, like gardening competition, like who can dig a hole the quickest and who can carry pots, and I don't know, maybe I need to make that, right? Like a mud run, but like it's like a gardener's, just a fun like competition of like gardening stuff. That'd be cool, because like I said, I didn't realize how actually strong my arms are, even still, like being here, how much arm strength I have just from the stuff that I do year round in the garden. I mean, I know that in the summertime in my garden, I definitely do more, like even like if I flip the compost or do things, like I realize I do strengthen up in the summertime, especially in the garden. But yeah, it was really cool that I had that arm strength to do. It's like, I wish, even training for the mud run, I wish if I come to Edmonton again, or when the one that's built in 2025 in Manchester, the big water park that's going to have water slides, because it'll probably have stairs, unfortunately, instead of elevators to get up to the slides. But it would be nice if they did elevators to all the water slides, because there's people who, like, say you have bad knees or whatever, like, but you can still do the water slide, but you can't do the stairs. It's not really fair for those people, or like people who, yeah, again. So I think that there should be elevators to the water slides, even if they're in a place where like they have to be a little bit further away from the water slide. So once you get up to the thing, you have to walk a little bit, because electricity and water. But what am I saying? I should have trained to have the leg strength and energy to just go up the stairs to do more water slides. That is something I regret. So the fact that I had the arm strength to hold on to do the tubing for as long as I did made me very happy. It would have been awesome if I had the leg strength and the whatever the stamina is, or the being able to breathe, to go up the stairs more, to do more water slides. So that's something that I would work on definitely again if I came to Canada. It's not about looking good and I mean, obviously looking good in photos and stuff like that, it would be great, but it's more about like just being able to do these things and keep up, especially if the rest of my body is working. So I would definitely do that again. But have I rambled enough? Yeah, over the hour. And like I said, I have to go fix that pool, and then we got to go grocery shopping, get my shit together, and then I'm going to put up a schedule on Facebook. I wish I could put it up on Instagram, but Instagram's being a little bitch, thinking I'm a spam bot because I post too much or too quickly or whatever. It's not my fault I'm efficient, Instagram. I'm glad that they like look for those things and stuff like that, but like, hello, it's been like a week. Can you look into this shit and see that I'm just a normal person trying to post a bunch of crap? So, yeah, I'm going to post my schedule. That really hurt my neck, whatever I just did there, like some kind of twitch thing. I'm going to post my schedule for this week for Edmonton. So Edmonton folks, if you're watching this, whether you're live or watching it later, hit me up, send me a message, and let's make plans, because this is our last few days in Canada, in Edmonton. Also, that reminds me, we have a layover in Toronto for our flight, so I want to get in touch with my friends Meg and her parents, and my friend Lisa and Grandma Dolly, and people in and around Toronto. Anyone who wants to meet us, like, at the airport for a lunch. We'll have to leave out security and then go back through security, but it'll definitely be worth it if we have a longer layover and to see people in Ontario. Other than that, my Ontario people will have to wait. Hopefully next year me and Steve can plan something to come out. I don't know if the kids will come with us. Honestly, I love my kids, our kids, but in the future, any trip that they want to come on, even back to Canada, they're welcome to come with us, but they're probably going to be paying for themselves, and we are not going to make them come. It's only if they want to, because some of the time on this trip has been a little bit exhausting with them. They had a lot more fun camping than they thought they would, so they were easier work camping. But some of the times, their attitudes and everything else, I don't blame them for not realizing how much money this costs, because it's hard to conceptualize that if you haven't had to pay for things yourself and everything. So we can't throw it in their face how much it costs to come over here and the things that we're paying for here and everything else. We can tell them it costs a lot, but they can't really comprehend how much it costs. But even their attitudes and stuff, just some of it, it's like, listen, if you want to come back to Canada with us next time, you can either pay for yourself, or you need to want to come, because we don't want to hear bitching about anything. So yeah, next time we come to Canada, it might just be me and Steve. So if we go to Ontario next year, as much as I'd love all my Ontario people to see the kids, it's up to them if they want to come or not. We're not going to force them. So it might just be me and Steve going to Ontario whenever we get there. All right. I love you guys. We will see you next Sunday when I'm muddy, bruised, and tired from the mud run. And like I said, if you're in and around Edmonton, I'm going to plan some things this week. Next Saturday, after the mud run, my plan is to have like a barbecue here at Mom's or whatever, or like bring your own food, bring your own bottle, whatever. I'm not drinking, but you know what I mean, just to come and visit. So like an open house on Saturday after the mud run. I don't know what time it goes to. Probably like it starts in the morning, so and obviously it's however fast you do 5 kilometers, but yeah, so I will figure it out. I'll ask my sisters and stuff because they've done it before to see what time, but I would say dinner time or later for people to come over. Auntie Dan says, looking forward to seeing mud run pictures. That, yeah, me too. But the ones in the past, like I thought my sister-in-law Tara, like my brother's wife, and my niece Shay were doing it again because they've done it in the past. But I will maybe include some of the past pictures of my family and friends doing it, and then the ones from this year as well. So I'm looking forward to doing it and to challenge myself again. If I can do, there's a little ant in front of me on the table. If I can do the tubing and suffer through the throwing my body around on concrete type feeling, then I can endure and get through this mud run and push myself through. So I'm going to do my best. And again, it's not against anybody else. It's just my personal best to finish it and to have fun with my nieces. And wait, who? None of my nieces are doing it. My niece isn't doing it. So, oh, okay, the daughters and my sisters and me and Rachel and her daughter Ashlyn. So, and Auntie Dan says, I see I can get time off for you last barbecue. Let me know when. We'll try. Well, that Auntie Dan, it's this Saturday, so it's this weekend. But it's like, I mean, it's kind of a long way to come down to Edmonton. If you guys want to and you can, it's this weekend, like the same day as the mud run. So if you want and can, then absolutely, you're welcome. You know, you're welcome to come to my parents' house. But if you can't, I'd love to see you guys again, but I don't expect you to come all the way to Edmonton just to see me one last time. But if you want, it's this weekend. And obviously, again, no matter whatever you can get time off. If you guys come down to Edmonton for a day or two, we're here the whole week. So if you can get a day off and you want to come all the way down here, we'll fit our schedule around you. But if you wanted to come to the barbecue, it'll be Saturday. So figure out if you can get time off. And if you can't, I understand. And I enjoyed the time that we did get to see you guys. But yeah, it would be great to see you guys again. That would be really cool. So let us know. Anyways, I love you guys. I will either talk to you this week or see you this week, or else I will see you next Sunday live from Facebook. All right. Love you guys. See you next week. Thanks for tuning in live or later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Mom says. Bye.